Hi there, I'm Alan Turner, Executive Chef for Agri Beef Co., producers of Double R Ranch and St. Helens Northwest Beef. Today we're going to grill a steak, and it's kind of an unusual steak. You see it more and more and more on restaurant menus, but most people don't know how to find it in the retail, so we're going to help you out with that. We're going to show you how to find it. What this is comes from the chuck. It's called the flat iron, and you can see that it has just terrific marbling. And that means that it's going to be very flavorful. But because of where it's at in the shoulder, it actually isn't as tough as you might think. In fact, it's very, very tender. Perhaps third, fourth most tender muscle in the entire carcass. So this is a great steak. In the grocery store, look for it as a top blade steak. Most grocery stores don't actually merchandise this as a flat iron. So look for the top blade, and this is what you'll end up with. So we're just going to give this a little salt and pepper. Pepper on there. Now, one of the critical parts to grilling a steak and having a great crusty steak is dry meat, high heat. Say it with me, dry heat, high heat. There you go, I knew you could do that. So the point is that if you throw a wet steak onto high heat like this, the first thing it's going to do is flash into steam, and it's going to prevent that caramelization of those beautiful little proteins and the sugars in them. So we've got a nice crust on there now. I've got my grill very hot, and I've got it oiled down a little bit, so I'm just going to lay this just like that. I'm going to press it down to make sure that all my surfaces are touching. And that makes me happy. I'm good with that. Now, another critical part to grilling a steak. The steak is one of the simplest forms that we have in beef. It's high heat and grilled. It's pretty caveman cooking, and probably why I like it so much. But the important part is to leave it alone. We're not going to touch this thing. We're not going to put pretty crosshatch marks on it. We're going to leave that steak cooking for about 8 minutes on the first side. And so we'll take a look at it in 8 minutes. So we've let this side go for 8 minutes, and the important part again is to let it rest so that it can cook evenly through. And you'll notice that it comes right up. It hasn't stuck because I let it grill long enough. And look at that nice crisp exterior on there. That's going to be beautiful. So again, another 7 to 8 minutes. We'll do an internal temperature with our infrared thermometer and bring it up to about 135 degrees. Then we're going to let it rest under a piece of foil for about 5 minutes. Let those juices integrate back into the beef, and then we'll slice it and see what it's like. Okay, let's give this a few more minutes. So now we're going to give this a temperature. We're going to go sideways into the side so that we can see it, not straight down. We want our temperature probe to get a true temperature of the product inside, and right now we are sitting exactly on 130 degrees. So we're going to pull that out. And we're going to take this. Okay, so we've got it off the grill. We're going to bring it over here and lay it right here on this cutting board. And once again, we're going to give it a little rest underneath this piece of foil for about 10 minutes. It'll hold its heat and still be very nice, but it'll keep it from losing all its juices when we cut it. All right, now we've let this sit here for about 12 minutes or so. So we're going to take this foil off. You'll see some of the juices have leaked out here, and that's okay. Far less than if we had just started carving it. So now, instead of cutting this in the steaks, because the flat iron of the shape of it isn't very steak-like, we're going to give this a carve this way. So now we can arrange this just like this on our platter if we like. Nice medium rare in the center. The flat iron, you'll notice, being thinner on one end, actually will take care of all of your friends that prefer their meat a little well done, because down here on this end, it is very much medium, just barely pink. So there you go. That's a grilled flat iron steak out of the beef chuck. Thanks for watching. I'm Alan Turner, Executive Chef for Agri Beef, Double R Ranch, and St. Helens Northwest Beef. Thank you.